Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Ejeomah and I am a pharmacist and a lifestyle content creator. If you are a former, you've always been watching my videos, thank you very much. If you're here again, but if you're new to this channel, welcome to this channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about PCN forms and their meaning. Okay, I felt like I needed to let you all know because I don't think there's any information on PEP exam, how it sees everything. I don't think there's any information on that. Before we go into the video, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and just comment. Okay, your comments are always welcome. You can ask your questions, but I'm sure I'll be able to answer your questions in this video. But if I'm not able to answer your questions, maybe your questions was not maybe you have questions as a result of this video, then you can ask. But first, watch the video before you ask your questions. Okay, yeah, so let's get into the video. All right, we're going to start with PEP forms before PCN forms and their meaning or their appellation before we get into the main video, which is how PEP exam is, what you need to study for PEP or PEP study or whatever it is. I'm getting you all the just hold on. If you're not concerned about this PCN forms, or maybe you already know what it is about, you know all the forms, you're good to go, then you can move to the other one, which is the PEP. Okay, so because I will just divide this into chapters so that it would help you. All right, so the PCN forms, I just have them here. While I was preparing for this PEP exam, we had this like different notes or things to read, and this was part of the things we were supposed to keep abreast. Like we are supposed to know like the forms and their meanings and whatever. And I remember like one of my colleagues telling me, oh, which one is form J again, which one is form K? Like everything is just like just different from this, from that, and you can just get them all mixed up, but you're supposed to actually know like which form is for this and which form is for that. Like say you want to start internship, like during your induction, there's form F1 and form F2. Let's start with that form F1 and form F2. Form F1 is the one you fill before you start your internship, like maybe during your induction or just before you start your internship, you fill your form 1. That's the one you fill first. Then I don't know if I still have a picture of it. I don't think I took a picture of that when I still had it. Then the F2 is the one you fill when you start your internship. Like that one, you either go submit it yourself to PCN, or maybe your preceptor or supervisor may take it to PCN. In my case, my preceptor took it to PCN, but for other people, they had to go themselves. During your induction, you're going to get your provisional license. That's the one you're going to be using for the time. That is not your permanent license number. So you have this number, but it's just provisional, just for the time being. Now, after your 1-year internship, you get another form. That is your form D. That form D is your certificate of experience. That is the C of E that everybody reads about. Your C of E. That C of E is really important because that is the only proof that you have already like done your internship. After getting that, you move straight to PCN, and in PCN your form J and your form C. The form J is for retention of your name on the register. Okay, now that you are done, you want them to retain your name on their register. And then the form C is for the full registration as a pharmacist. So that's you're going to fill. Form H is like the first annual license to practice as a registered pharmacist. This is what you get after your PEP, like that, your PEP exam. If you want to open your own premise, say you want to open your premise as a pharmacist, then you have to get that form B, which is the application form for registration of premises. All right, this is all that I know for now. Like that is it. All right, let's go into the PEP exam. The PEP, this is to ascertain that you have already gained the knowledge needed to practice as a full-time pharmacist. There is a manual and it has all the topics and that they expect that you should have like been conversant with by the time you're done with your internship. The thing is like there is no formal like past questions. There's some people that might send you past questions. Okay, this is what they will ask you, this is what they will ask you, but sometimes the exam like this, like last year exam might be more of clinical, this year exam might be more of pharmaceutical laws, another year exam might be more of not like other ones will not be there. It will include pharmacy law, pharmacoeconomics, clinical pharmacy. It will include all these things, but sometimes there's some areas that would get more attention, like depending on whoever is setting it, and it's not always the same. Like now there are always two batches in a year, one in March and another one in October. March, right? Is it March or April? Another one in October, and the maybe in April or March they might set something relating to more of maybe pharmaceutical care, and then the rest are mixed on other one like law, jurisprudence and everything else. Then this year can be more of clinical, like the one we wrote was more of clinical, like man, clinical, no, it was more of economics and like management questions and clinical questions. My God, from Zion, like you can't really say that, oh, I am going to read this part and this particular part is going to come out. You are supposed to like get like at least 50% of like the exam. So the exam is 200 questions, and guess what, it's computer based. The exam is a computer based test, and it's for 2 hours for 200 questions. That would mean that you have like less than 36 seconds to answer one question. So you have to be really fast, because your 2 hours starts from your time. Like you have this timer on your exam. So if you start before another person, that means your own 2 hours have started and will finish before another person. So of course you guys would have to start almost at the same time. But during our own, when we went to the venue, first of all they said we should come by 8 o'clock. When we got there, I mean, most people got there before 8, like myself. We got there before 8 just for it to get to like say past 8. They now called us all and we enter in. They now called us back again that no, we're not starting now, that we are going to start by 10 o'clock. So from 8 everybody waited till 10 before we actually even started. Then they started checking our names to see if we have paid. Then we went inside, only for us not to, we didn't all start at the same time. They asked us to drop our phones, everything. So you have to make sure that you keep your stuffs well, because you know you have to drop them outside. You can't take anything with you inside. And if you are with your phones and your wallet, I'm not sure how you're going to do with that, because you have to drop them. For us, we had this security at the gates who asked us to drop our stuffs at the security stand. Let's say we're up to 100 or if not more in that hall, and we couldn't start at the same time because I think the the capacity wasn't large enough for everybody to apply at the same time. Like we're now logging in roll by roll. It was funny, but yeah, that's how we did it, like roll by roll. Once this roll, before mine, when it got to our turn, like we tried logging in. Before we could enter in, like it took about 10 to 15 minutes before our, like the thing kept like buffering. So I don't know what's wrong with the Wi-Fi, but I thought in my mind, like if they knew that like this amount of people are going to come and write the exam, this is not the first time they're taking such exam, right? They're supposed to like make like room for such capacity, I mean, for the internet or Wi-Fi. And during the exam I almost panicked, because when I started, the thing just locked off on the exam. The place I was just logged off on his own. Trying to put it back, I called on the attention and everything. It was just like, hold on. So we're now asking that, hope our time is not counting as we are not on, like, because it just logged off on its own. And other people started complaining too. Some people would just call, say, please help me log back. I think during that exam I logged back like 3 times or 4, because it will just be rolling. But thankfully your time is not counting as long as you are not on there. So once I go back there, it will continue for where it stopped. Now you have to just make sure that you are very time conscious and try and answer as much questions as possible, because you're required to get 50%, and 50% will mean that you get 100 questions right. For the what you're supposed to read, there's this particular, like, while I was like, what will I, then I knew that there were this particular WhatsApp page where people follow to get like materials to read. So basically you get materials, you get like different past questions. It could not be past questions relating to PCN, it's got to be past questions on pharmacy, like it could be like maybe Canadian pharmacy license exam past questions. Just read past questions, read books, but most people advise not to dwell on past questions. Like maybe just read differently, just kind of like revision, just revise, because maybe you have done most of these things in school. Guys, you can never read enough. Like this is the first time when I know that because if it was FPGOP, you already have the topics that you should read on, and you already gone to class. You already know, like, okay, what kind of things they're going to, like, you already can tell, okay, this is the area in which you're going to set your questions. But this one is like a live exam. You're going to basically get asked questions from you can't see it coming. So it's your basic knowledge sometimes, or your residual knowledge sometimes, that can just come to help you, because you're just like, okay, I think I know that this is the answer, because they can ask you different questions, management questions and the clinical questions they asked us this time around. Just like, God, I just thank God, because God came through and we passed. This can only be God, guys, because I was so scared. And this was the first time when I knew that, like, as I was like, I'm not prepared, I just got in my space. You can't get prepared for life exam. It's for a life exam. You live prepared, actually, because no matter what you read, they might not ask you along that line. You have to understand, especially for clinical questions, you have to really understand what you are reading. You cannot just you have to understand it, because the question can come from anywhere. But you can follow this that WhatsApp page. I think they already started for people that are writing in March next year. They've already started, or a class for them. So you just get materials, guys. The materials are plenty. I couldn't even, nobody could finish it. You can't finish those materials. There's some materials, like particular materials, reach up to 400 and something pages. Another one, this something pages. This something page, and they are smaller ones. So you just try and read, cover as much as you can. And since there's already a manual, you can just use that to read around that area. I dwelled so much on PCN, like the pharmacy laws. Dwelled so much on pharmacy laws, or the PCN, when PSN was formed, what they comprise of, this NAFDAC, NDLA. They asked only like 1 or 2 questions on that, while in the previous year they asked more questions on that. So you can't really tell where the questions are coming from. You just have to stay ready. Just stay ready, like wherever it comes for, you just give them. You understand what I'm saying? Because someone had told me that during that time, so just pharmaceutical care questions they asked, before she got to the question, she had already answered them. Just imagine this, because I read that pharmaceutical care questions from first to last, but I don't think there was any question of pharmaceutical. If there were, it's not up to 5. And pharmaceutical care, I read it from back to back. I read pharmaceutical care. So you cannot just say, I'm just reading this particular part. You have to read all, like, everything, or everything that has to. I will list the 7 different, like, areas, like, you have to read. I think there are up to 7 different areas, like, in pharmacy, that you have to, even pharmacognosy, you have to read all that. Let me say, read stroke revise. That's basically it. We didn't start on time. That 8 o'clock was it, but just still go early, because you don't know what can happen during your own time. But that's just my own narration of on during the exam. Like, before we started the exam, they took off the light, the power went off. If you see all of us, you say, it's not going to happen when you're going to start this exam. What is this, Nigeria? Yeah. And also I noticed that we also write this exam with Nigerian students too. So for FPGOP, for foreign pharmacist graduates, when you initially get to Nigeria, you're only going to write the first provisional license. For the provisional license, the first exam you're going to write, you're only going to write it with your other foreign graduates. But this particular PEP exam is for all pharmacists, both foreign graduates and Nigerian graduates. You're going to write together with them. All right. And the exam cost, you have to pay for the exam. The exam form costs about 20. I don't know if they're going to increase it anytime, but it's 20k. The one that I paid the last time, 20,000 naira. So that's it. That's it. And you're only supposed to write it after internship, because while filling the form, you have to fill when you finish your internship, this and that, your supervisor, everything. So just make sure you're done, you're through with internship before you write the exam. And you don't have to even write it immediately after your internship. You can wait after your NYSC, write it during, before, after, just depending on you. If you need the WhatsApp group, you want to join the WhatsApp group, although you have to pay a fee to join this particular WhatsApp group, but it's just 500 the last time I checked. 500 naira the last time I checked, but I don't know if it would increase. So just let me know in the comment section, or just send me an email. Let me send, because I don't know if I can send somebody's number on exposing the person's number. I'm not sure. So just send me an email and I'll send the number to you. Again, another thing, let me discuss, guys. So when you print out the form, like once I got the receipt, I paid for everything online. I didn't have to go to the bank, but you might have to go to the bank depending on you, because I know that sometimes, because you use remitter to pay, and I heard that sometimes remitter can really be funny. You can pay and get stuck while paying, because I was just praying that I don't get the, so you can just Instead, maybe go to the bank and make your payments. You get your remitter number, go to the bank and make your payments if you want to do it that way. Just however you want to do, whatever works for you. On the paper there was a location that was there where we're supposed to be, a location, a center for writing the exam. Do you know the funny thing? This center that was placed on that paper is not the same as the center we went to write the exam. So what you do is you have to wait. That's why following that page is very important. Although they sent me like 3 days before, like the center in which we're going to write the exam, but this, if I had not checked my email, and if I was not following the WhatsApp page, I wouldn't have known that the address is different from the main address you go to. If you've already written the paper and you have 1 or 2 information or 1 or 2 things that can help other people, just write in the comment section below. Thank you all for coming to my TED Talk. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, like, thumbs up the same thing, subscribe, comment, and also share with your other friends. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you some other time. Bye.